If you were drafting the 4 quarterbacks in the NFC South for this year, Ryan Clark, in what order would you take them?
Brees, Brady, Ryan, Bridgewater. And I think that's not simple at the top, because you look at Tom Brady and you say, look at the weapons that he has around him. But when you've seen what Drew Brees has been able to do in this offense under Sean Payton, with Michael Thomas, now with a healthy Alvin Kamara, you know what Taysom Hill could do in the variety of ways that he could be used, but you add Emmanuel Sanders, and with that continuity, with that chemistry, I believe that Drew Brees starts off hot. Now, this is what I also think. I think they win the NFC South, but Tom Brady hits his stride late in the season, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers become a harder out in the playoffs. This is going to be a fascinating division. Matt Ryan can still really play. I expect him to have a great year as well, but Drew Brees sits atop my quarterback rankings in the NFC South.
All right, so Brees over Brady for him. Desmond, how about you?
Wow, I like Brady over Brees. I think just because of, like I said, Brady's mental approach. I think he has some weapons in Tampa Bay, and he wants to prove to everyone that it wasn't just the system in New England. It wasn't about Bill Belichick. It's about him. So I think he's going to come into this season with a huge chip on his shoulder, and he has that he's cut from the same cloth or similar cloth as Michael Jordan. Once he sees a challenge, I think he's going to face it head on and overcome it. Drew Brees, another first ballot Hall of Famer. Like Ryan said, he has Alvin Kamara now. He has Michael Thomas, #1 receiver in the NFL. You got to go with Drew Brees at #2. Now, Teddy Bridgewater and Matt Ryan, that's kind of dicey for me. I'm going to pick Matt Ryan because he's not too far removed from taking this team to a Super Bowl. I think he's hit his ceiling so far. And Bridgewater, his best years are to come. I thought he stepped in and did an admirable job a year ago when Drew Brees went down. But I think his best football ahead. But as of right now, I will put Matt Ryan above Teddy Bridgewater.
All right, so we have 1 vote for Brady, 1 vote for Brees. Surely, Dan Graziano, you're going to pick one or the other at the top, so you'll break the tie. Who's your order?
No, I think everybody's underrating Matt Ryan. I would take Ryan for this year. I think he was ahead of Tom Brady in literally every category last year. Brees missed 5 games last year, and I think we've seen him sort of tail off as the seasons have gone on. I may be holding his playoff game against him too much, but I was at that game and he looked awful. So I'm going with the 35-year-old over the 43-year-old and the 41-year-old. And I think you look at Calvin Ridley, an ascendant talent at wide receiver. Julio Jones, still one of the top receivers in the game. A running game that was the 3rd worst in the league last year, and they add Todd Gurley to it. I think Ryan is poised for an outstanding year, which he usually has, and I would pick him to finish ahead of those 2 guys in terms of 2020 performance.
I will confess, I had seen your list. I knew that was coming, and frankly, I rather like it. RC, you look at Atlanta team that finished strong. Think about how bad they were the first half of last season. He played very well, and they played very well with nothing to play for the second half of last season. Do you look? Surprising things happen every year in the NFL, RC. Could the Falcons be one of those this year?
Yeah, and I think surprising things happen in the NFC South usually. It's been the Saints really kind of changing that trend the last 2 or 3 years. And so Atlanta is due to be better. They have revamped their coaching staff. I think they'll be better defensively. They've got some things done in that secondary. But this all is on Matt Ryan's shoulder. It's on the fact, or on depending on, can he get Julio Jones the ball in the red zone, which we saw them have early season problems last year. And so you just never know with this team. It always seems like Matt Ryan is right there, but other than that 1 year, couldn't get over the hump, doesn't get over the turnovers, doesn't make the big plays when needed. And so if you're expecting him to be better than the other 2 quarterbacks this year, he is going to have to improve in situational football.
All right, so very quickly, because there's how they all start, there's how they play for the year, and it's how good their teams are. So going right through it fast. Desmond Howard, if one of these 4 teams from this division is going to be in the Super Bowl this year, which one is it?
I think it's Tampa. I think that you have a motivated Tom Brady who has a great defense behind him. He's going to make – the thing about Tom Brady, people understand, they're quarterbacks who make everyone around them good. He makes everyone around them great. He makes sure that everyone strives for excellence. So I would say Tom Brady in Tampa Bay.
How about you, Dan?
I say the Saints if someone's going to make the Super Bowl out of the NFC South. I do like Matt Ryan a lot, but I don't like that Falcon defense.
And RC, if one team from the division is going to make the Super Bowl, which one?
It's going to be Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay is playing the best down the stretch, and I believe they have a quarterback that has been there and done that more than anybody in football.
Yeah, and they have a really good defense that people don't talk a lot about either. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.